there. Today we're going to draw a dragon. There's many different ways of drawing a dragon, but I'm going to go for the way that I did in this book because I was quite happy with the character design. And it looks like that. So he's more of a friendly dragon. Let's find a good shot of him. Okay, there we go. So he's more of a friendly chap, but I'm going to try and go for that sort of shape. And I have to say, it's been a while since I've drawn him, so let's get down to it. And let's see if I can remember. Now I might change him slightly, but I like the basic design because it's really kind of a bit more curvy than you'd expect a dragon to be, and there's something about the feet that I was particularly happy about. So maybe this is his little brother. Character in the book is called Duncan, because, you know, why not? So I'm just going to rough out the shapes again. I haven't got much room here, so I'm just going to bring the legs down here. There we go. Right, so we're going to go for that sort of shape. Now I'm just roughing out an animation pencil. These are excellent if you can get a hold of them. Colour rays. Nice smooth lines, and makes a pen glide. Now I'm going to make it a bit curvier. Now currently he looks a bit dog-like, which is a little bit strange, and I'm just going to adjust his legs, because what I'm doing here is I'm just imagining a shoulder. That line is where shoulder blades would be. I'm just going to modify his legs a little bit. Now, when you're doing structure, don't worry if it's all wrong, because I'm sure the animator's going, wow, you're making a lot of lines all over the place. Yes, I am. And that's fine, because fine for me, because I'm getting the pose right. If you get the structure right, if you get the pose right, then lots of the rest of the drawing will follow. Lots of people will dive into detail. And you know, detail's good, but you've got to have a solid base to put the detail on. And if the pose is on the structure isn't right, then something will always look off with your picture. So what I've done there is, if you imagine that, okay, he's got a sort of if you imagine inside of him he's got shoulder blades. And what we do for creatures and people is, if there's shoulder blades and hip blades. Hip blades? You know what I mean. Hips, hip bones, joints, where the legs and the arms attach to the body. If the shoulders are sort of tilted up, and then the hips often tilt down. So that's a good way of doing a character. And sort of and give them a bit of dynamism. Okay, so we got that, and then of course you need massive wings, which is kind of hard to do, but so a quick look. How do I do the wings on here? Okay, quite simple. So he's going to have wings that arc up like that. Now these wings attach here at the body, and then they'll attach there, and then they'll swoop up. So I'm kind of whipping through this quite quickly, but that's the idea at this point, is to be loose and just go, you know what, I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm going to fix any mistakes before I get to inking anything in. Now this guy, he has two sets of wings, two pairs of wings. So I'm not going to see all of him, but you're going to see a lot of him. Okay, well this is a good way to go. So what we've got is something that's a bit messy. That's okay. I'm still not happy with that leg. There we are. I need a joint. I did do them quite curvy before, and I'm going to go back. If you're going from reference, always, even if it's your own pictures, it's good to refer back to what you've done before. Okay, he's got claws like that, 3 claws, and they're quite curvy, and he's got kind of bendy arms. Even if you're doing bendy arms, you're going to have to go. You're going to have to go and give him some sort of idea of where the elbow is, even if they're not showing. There's got to be some structure to it. So he's got quite curvy claws. So I'm looking at the claws. I'm going to do that. And then his legs go down like that. And then his... There we go. He's getting that better now. He's still got some sort of elbow, and I think just putting a little curve up here will really give that sense of, all right, he's got some weight to him instead of just being a rubber banded kind of character. And this one as well, I'm not sold on that. So his leg is there, so his shoulder blade is there, his leg comes down here. Ah, there we go. And I'm going to move his foot up here. So there you go. I'm making quite a lot of mistakes. Not mistakes, adjustments. And sort of doing what's right for the character. I'm going to make his neck sort of come out a little bit like that. A little bit of a taper here and make that curve a little bit more dynamic. Puff it out a little bit more. And then I like the way the head goes around here and just connects there. Okay, so we're kind of getting there. And I'm going to be ready to. I'm not going to use ink today. I'm going to use this different type of pencil. So this leg is just like a floppy soft toy leg. So let's go round here. Let's make him. So kind of like a horse's or a dog's leg, where it goes round the back here. And sort of like the knee is always kind of hard to find. You've got sort of like a pad around the back for the foot and curves here. Hopefully you can see that. Right, and then I'm adjusting. I think his knee is about there. Sort of backwards knee effect. Oh yeah, there we go. So I mean, it's not perfect. It's getting there, and you won't see much of his back leg anywhere. So I'll just add too much detail to the picture. So I think we can assume his leg does something like that. But I shall go over it in pencil now and explain a bit more. This is a Blackwing pencil, which is again an animator's type of pencil. They give lovely smooth but strong lines, so I haven't used one in quite a while. Let's see how this goes. So I'm going to give him an eyes, let's go for, I'm going to go eyes here. Now, eyes are the main source of personality in a face, in a picture. You can get a lot of expression in them. I tend to do them really simply. I might do a video sometime on how to do different sorts of eyes, because there's so many different ways. And then I'm just going to do rough out job. Okay, he's going to be a happy chap. He's a happy chap in the book. Doesn't mean he doesn't have sharp teeth. Great. Okay, and then he's going to have, as we got the basic shape right, we can now go around here and get the curve in. Smooth out the snout. And I do these little spirals for nostrils, noses, nostrils. And he's got these kind of horn ear type things out here because that's what dragons tend to have. I always put eyebrows above because it just lends a bit more expression to the character. And sort of if expression can pop out of the face, it's not confined to a face, head structure. Always adds a bit more expression, a bit more life to it. That's interesting. He has a tongue. Forgot about that. Okay, so let's do. Oh, I'm getting us bogged down in details. Just keep it smooth and keep it light. Okay, so I've added whenever you do eyes, it's always useful to keep a little part unshaded at the top, a little white highlight, and then the character has more of a sense of, well, it's like reflection in the eyes, and it just lends life to the character, like a spark. It's quite hard doing this. I've got a camera tripod in the way, but you know, you can always go back and rub things out. It's not the smoothest either, but hey. Okay, and this has got a nice swooping wing up here, so I'm going to do that one there, and I'm going to do that one there. When you do big swoops, it's useful to kind of lock your wrist and sort of push from shoulder or the elbow further up your arm, and then you get firmer, smoother line. A bit more confidence. A lot of drawing is just about confidence, so you sort of just got to have that mindset of, I'm just going to draw it and see what happens. Because if you go, oh, I get it right, I hope I do a perfect this or that, well, it will show. If you're hesitant in your picture, if you're not enjoying it, if you're not going, I'm going to try this and I don't care whether it's good or not, if you're trying to exhibit what you're doing, if you're trying to show off, if you're trying to be the best in the room, then it's very often not going to, it's going to jam you up. You need to be in the right mindset, and that's that kind of mindset of, I'm easygoing with whatever happens. And the more you practice, the more confidence you get, and the more confidence you get, the more that you're sort of secure to make mistakes. Make mistakes, yeah, like that, not that, you know, not like where things don't turn out quite the way you planned, and that's really good often. Like that. That is not good. Not for an art sense. But what you do have is really fun surprises where you look back and you think, oh, that kind of turned out quite interesting. Well, that was an interesting effect because I loosened up. And because I just went with the flow. And I didn't try, just like there, see? Trying too hard. I need to try not to jog this tripod. Oh, that's better. Okay. I'm trying to capture that elbow curve and then come down. I'm going to add those claw marks, just curvy lines, just to give that kind of area of where the toes kind of stop on the claw begins, and it just adds a bit of dimension, a bit of 3D-ness to the picture. Now, I'm still not 100% happy with this, so I'm going to go... that's because right, there's my green pencil. I'm going to do this because his leg is kind of bending the wrong direction. Aha! Excellent. Okay, that's a bit better. Give him a bit of an elbow. Sense of a joint. Excellent. Now, this is getting really hard because my arm is going to bash up against the tripod. Let's see how we do. Okay, not the best angle, but you'll just have to go with it. Ooh, not perfect. That's fine. Anyway, yes, mistakes. Mistakes or unexpected kind of blessings, I suppose. They're kind of those moments where you go, oh, that turned out better than I thought. That isn't one of them. You get the idea. Because sometimes you'll just draw something and you think, that was a really nice effect. And it, yeah. You can store it in your memory banks for your muscle memory for another time. Okay, so we're keeping these wings quite light. We're not going to add a ton of detail because we just don't need it. We need the suggestion of wings here. So it's going to get tricky to do this one, so I'm not going to bother too much. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to hide the wing entirely behind this front one. and I'm not going to make it match. I'm going to be sure that the shapes of the front one and the back one don't parallel each other. So if you have something that goes across there, I don't know whether you can see that, that will look too similar and it will look too just out of place. Things don't often run parallel with natural forms. And even in, like, when drawing tables or rooms, if you're in animation, very often the angles will be slightly off in furniture or doorways. Depends on the style, but if there's a sort of a slightly more cartoony looking thing, Teen Titans Go or VeggieTales or something like that, it will be, angles will be slightly off. VeggieTales will be extremely off. And that's good. I'm always getting there. Now I'm just not going to bother filling out too much detail here. I'm going to do the suggestion of a foot there. Actually, it does need just needs a bit more. Okay, that's where that goes. Just roughing out where it would work. So you'd have an ankle here and then the toes up here. I'm not going to fill in the detail because, again, you're distracting the eye from what's important. So I'm just going to add the shadows now, and we'll skip to the end. Okay, that's just about done. We have the finished dragon, and I've just added in some shadow here on anything that appears sort of further back. This wing in particular, this rear wing, is behind all the others pretty much, so we've added some shadow there. This one is not so shadowed, but it's still nice to have some sort of idea that it's a bit further back. Okay, so we've drawn Duncan the dragon. I hope you've liked that. Give it a go yourself and do your own dragon. There's all sorts that you can draw, all sorts of different shapes. Have a go, be confident, try doing it your own way. I'll put links to my book below, and don't forget to click like and subscribe if you like it, and see you on the next one.